Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you have joined from. Welcome to another SQL Maestros webinar. Today's content is about implicit conversion. My name is Amit Bansal, and I am going to be your host, your speaker for the next 45 to 50 minutes, maybe an hour, depending on the content, depending on how the demos go. Okay, friends, as I always do, and I did the audio check earlier, so I'm not going to do that again. The audio should be fine, the video and the screen. So yeah, let me know, where are you from? Which part of the world are you joining in from today? Let's see. We have more than 100 people today in the webinar. This is a slightly specialized topic, not for everyone, because okay, so I'm calling out these countries. Austria, we have people from US, India, of course, we have Switzerland, Romania, UK, Canada, Hungary, Arizona, okay, and that state from the US again, so South Africa, then again US, a lot of people from the US. We have someone from Brazil, that's nice. Um, okay, global participation as always. Yeah, and you can use the chat window to chat with each other or ask me questions. Friends, a common question that I always get is about these webinars. They're all recorded and they're available on sqlmaestros.com. There are a lot of things available on sqlmaestros.com. Tutorials, these recorded webinars. There's a free video lobby. There is a premium video lobby. We have free membership. There is premium membership. You have fast track masterclass live, and you have the deep dive 40-hour masterclass live. Those are the paid ones. So a lot of free content and some paid stuff also. And I had sent this file earlier, some important links that might be of use to you. So you could download this TXT file and save it on your computer, laptop, and yeah, use it to your purpose. Okay. Yes, welcome from Dubai. Hi there. Okay, friends. I have been working with SQL Server for many years now. I started my career with 6.5. The brief work with 6.5, but then major activities started with 7.0 and then 2000, and then I did a lot of application programming with Visual Basic, and then I moved heavily, completely into SQL Server performance tuning and architecting databases and designing for large databases and high performing systems. So that's all I've been doing for so many years. I am a Microsoft certified master of SQL Server. Back in the days, I used to be MVP, and I used to do a lot of work around SQL Server community also. So yeah, that is my brief background. What I do today is I do a lot of performance tuning consulting work, and whatever I learn in those projects, I bring them to our YouTube tutorials, in these webinars, and of course in our in our master classes. So, just like I always do, we have picked up this content today on implicit conversion. You have been reading, and you might have been watching a lot of videos about implicit conversion, and there's so much content that I have published myself on YouTube. But today I am going to dive a little deeper, and also to give you some filler of the kind of content we cover in our deep dive master classes. That will be the idea. Now, implicit conversion. So, what really do we understand by implicit conversion? First, let's understand the conversion aspect, which is SQL Server has to convert from one data type to another. So whenever you're writing T-SQL queries and you're, let's say, comparing, like for example here, whenever you're comparing two columns, let's say you have one column from a specific table and you have another column from another table, or maybe the same table, and you're doing a comparison. If they have the same data type, no conversion is required. But if either of these attributes, either of these columns have different data types, then SQL Server will make an attempt to convert, because for comparison, both data types have to be same. That is what is meant by conversion. Now, this conversion will also take place if you just have a literal, like for example, here if you see Account number is a column in one of the tables, and you are comparing the values in account number with a literal here, right? So conversion might happen if these two data types are not same. So that is conversion, and very plain speaking and straightforward for you to understand. Now, what is meant by implicit conversion? So when you have this conversion happening, SQL Server can decide to convert these data types implicitly, which is it's not going to ask you, it's going to make its own decision to convert these data types for the purpose of comparison. And of course, it needs to have the same data types on both sides of the comparison operator. So it will do this implicitly. You can also do it explicitly. We're going to cover that a bit later. But first, let's talk about this implicit conversion. So when SQL Server decides to convert this implicitly, it will do it from what we call as the lower precedence data type to a higher precedence data type. That is how it happens. And now the point here is whenever SQL Server query optimizer during the execution of the query is doing this implicit conversion, it might be expensive. It might take those extra CPU cycles and it may hurt query performance. And in some cases, it may also change the execution plan. And that is where when SQL Server tries to warn you that due to this implicit conversion, the execution plan is being changed. And that is where you get this warning like, the conversion is affecting the plan quality. So in summary, we are talking about implicit conversion by the SQL Server. SQL Server is doing it automatically because the two data types are not similar, and SQL Server is making an attempt to convert from lower precedence to higher precedence. And when it does that, and if it is affecting the plan quality, SQL Server will give you a warning. That these are all standard operating procedures, as we call it, but the real problem here is the query performance. And this conversion will require extra CPU cycles, and you will see the thread spending that extra time on the CPU. What is your job? Your job here is to identify these conversions, and you got to fix them if at all they are fixable. If you can fix them, you should identify and fix them, and it will help in improving query performance. I can see someone raising hands there. Okay, so you have Derek raising a hand. Is there a question? Maybe you can type in the chat window, and if not, then you may lower your hand. Yeah. Okay. So let's okay. Let me just lower the hand there. Fair enough. Friends, we are touching 200 people. Today's attendance is close to, it's 198 now. Okay, that's good number. I thought that this is a slightly specialized topic, so we will not have too many people tuning in, but good to know that people want to dive deeper into SQL Server. Okay, so there is a comment there by Marco which says in that example, SQL Server isn't smart enough to choose to implicitly convert the literal instead of the millions of rows from the table. Converting one string should be pretty false. Marco, what you need to understand is we are talking about a comparison here. And going by computer science, it will always be from lower precedence to higher precedence. It's not really a factor here about millions of rows in a column versus the literal. Okay, so conversion will always be from lower to higher precedence. That is the point. Okay. So let's get started. Now, first things first, I am going to turn on the statistics here, set statistics time on, because I want to show you the performance impact also. Now, let's look at this simple query here. Okay, we have this table sales.customer, and we are joining it with person.person. Fair enough. The important thing for us here is this portion where account number is equal to some account number. That this is the literal here. Now you can clearly see that we put this prefix n here, which means this is nvarchar, and this is what we do nowadays. I mean, we deal a lot with nvarchar. But account number here is of varchar data type. You can see that column account number is varchar. So there is going to be a varchar to nvarchar conversion. Now, this one is a very straightforward example. Okay, so let's go and execute this query, and we are going to turn on the actual execution plan. I know that this is going to be an implicit conversion here. Let's go and execute this and jump over to the execution plan. Sorry. While I was drinking water, I read this question. Will SQL Server still do the conversion if the data type remains the same, but the length is different? No, if the data type is same, that's fine. Length does not matter here. Okay, so what we have done is we have done the implicit conversion here that has happened. SQL Server has done that. Now, what you will notice here is that the execution of this query took less than 1 second. I mean, pretty neat stuff, right? Less than 1 second. You wouldn't bother much. We'll come back to this in a moment. If you look at the select operator there is a warning there. You can clearly see that, which is a good thing because SQL Server is warning you that something is not right with this execution plan. You take the cursor over here and you look at the warning. It says type conversion in expression convert implicit something something, and it tells you nvarchar, and it gives you this account number thing what we saw in the query. But the important message is this last line there, which is of interest to me. It says, may affect seek plan in query plan choice. Now, let me simplify this to you. In simple words, this means that the execution plan has changed. This due to this implicit conversion, execution plan has changed. That's what this means, because this is what SQL Server is trying to tell you, that if it if it did not had to do the implicit conversion, probably you would have got a different execution plan or maybe a cheaper execution plan. It could have happened. So that is part one of understanding the implicit conversion. Okay, so you have implicit conversion happening. Probably the plan has changed, and that's why you get this warning. So if SQL Server did not have to do the implicit conversion, you could have got a better plan. That's part one. Part two is the execution time of the query. Plain speaking, looking at the status bar, it looks like, oh, this is nice. It's just less than 1 second. But because we turned on stats time, let's go and look into the messages tab here and scroll down, and you will see that the total elapsed time for the query was 341 milliseconds, which is less than half a second, which is good. But look at the CPU time. So SQL Server spent about 266 milliseconds. This thread, it's a single threaded execution. So the thread spent 266 milliseconds on the CPU. So that's the kind of CPU cycles that were spent to do this job. I am not trying to say right now that this 266 milliseconds is totally responsible for that implicit conversion. We'll see that. This is part two. So part one is the execution plan. Part two is the query performance, right? Okay, friends. Are we all on the same page? We are troubleshooting two things here. We're looking at the performance of the execution plan. Have we got an expensive plan? Can we get a cheaper plan? That's part one. One story, story one. And part two here is the execution time. Okay. Now let's go and fix this. Okay. How do we fix this? Anyone in the chat window? How can I fix this? Really very straightforward. Okay, use varchar, remove n. Everyone knows, okay, we can remove n. That's the prefix. So I'm going to remove this. Okay, we have removed n. Now we have varchar on both sides of the equality operator, the account number as well as the literal. Okay, let's do this. We are going to execute this. Okay, and look into the execution plan. So you will notice that the execution plan is now different. Okay. And if you did not recollect what was the execution plan earlier, why not put this also here back? Let's put that, and the remedy is here, this one where I've removed this n thing. So let's go and compare these two. Okay, so you have two execution plans now, one with implicit conversion, and this one is the fix where we have fixed it, we have removed n, and there's going to be no implicit conversion. Let's look at the execution plan in both cases. Okay, and here you go. So clearly, you have got a different execution plan now, which means this warning here made perfect sense. So you could see that we have a scan happening here. I mean, good, there was an index already up there which wasn't being used. So this was scanning. It turns out to be expensive, of course. And this plan, of course, seems to be cheaper. And you can look at the estimations from the optimizer's perspective. This is clearly a 88% versus 12% performance difference, right? So the optimizer knows, of course, we know now that this plan is cheaper. If you want to watch the remainder part of the webinar and all the remaining demos, you can subscribe to the webinar on SQLmaestros.com and get lifetime access to the recorded webinar. All you have to do is just go to SQLmaestros.com, click on the recorded webinar section and get access to all the webinar recordings. There are many of them. Some of these webinars are free and some of them are very nominally priced. So the ones that you're interested in, you can subscribe to them and get lifetime access. Now, because there are so many webinars, subscribing to each webinar might be a bit cumbersome. So we have another option, which is SQL Maestros membership. So the first link on SQL Maestros says join. If you click on that, it will bring you to SQL Maestros membership. Things are very simple. There are two membership levels. The first level is free, where you get access to all the free webinars and all our tutorials and demos, more than 200, 300 demos and tutorials. All you have to do is just become a free member. You're paying nothing and you get access to all of them. So you don't have to go and subscribe to each webinar individually. Just become a free member and then explore the free video lobby. So if you go to the video lobby here, there is something called as free content where you get access to all of that. But then all of us are interested in advanced content, isn't it? And that is where premium membership comes into play. So the webinars that are paid, and there are many advanced tutorials and demos. If you want access to all of them, you can become a premium member and pay a nominal price, which is annual membership. Once you do that, you can explore the premium video lobby. If you go to the premium video lobby from here, or just go to the video lobby and click on premium content, you can see all the paid webinars and all the advanced tutorials and demos and get access to all of them with your annual membership. Anyway, choice is yours. There's a lot of content on SQLmaestros.com, and you can also explore the YouTube membership level as well. So you have free content on YouTube channel, and you can also join and become a member of SQL Maestros on YouTube, where you can pay a monthly fee, get access to all the paid webinars and advanced content. So in summary, you can go to SQLmaestros.com and become a member, or you can become a member on YouTube also. Becoming a member on SQLmaestros.com turns out to be a little cost effective with the annual membership in comparison to YouTube monthly membership. But anyway, choice is yours, whichever platform you wish to use. Happy SQL.